Well, guys, don't video game movies have the best track record ever? Am I right? Am I right? Is this going to be as great as the other great video game movies we've got? You'll find out. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, giving you guys my famous stale bad humor in the beginning of my videos. Guys, I have another review for you today for another movie that came out like about almost 2 weeks ago. Missed it when it originally came out, along with The Conjuring 2, which I already reviewed, should be up on my channel. In this video, I am going to be reviewing Warcraft. That's right, guys. Warcraft has been out. Sorry that this review is late, but as you guys know, I was away for that week-long period, and it started the Friday that Warcraft and Conjuring 2 both came out, so there you have it. Now you guys see why I am late. So guys, Warcraft, as I said in my opening, is a video game-based movie in that this movie was first a video game, not a movie. You know, 9 times out of 10, how they make a really cool movie based off like a TV show or anything, and then they make a video game off of it. Well, the video game happened first here, ladies and gentlemen. And now they made a movie out of it. And video game movies are notoriously, I don't think there's one out there that people say, yeah, this is like the best video game movie ever, because a lot of people say they all suck. I personally haven't seen a lot of them because I hear they're just bad. But yeah, a lot of people aren't too crazy about this type of genre. And we have this movie coming out now. We have Assassin's Creed coming out at the end of the month, at the end of the year with Michael Fassbender. So hopefully that'll be good. But Warcraft, guys, is set in this realm of Azeroth. I hope I'm saying that right. I hope any of you World of Warcraft fans aren't going to want to murder me for butchering your fan base. I am sorry. I'm probably going to ruin it, but sorry. So it's set in the realm of Azeroth. The humans reside in this realm. There's a king, there's everything. Yeah, it's humans inhabit Azeroth. There you go. And one day, these large, giant creatures known as Orcs invade Azeroth by arriving through this mysterious portal after their own world is, like, not inhabitable. So they need to find their own world, so they arrive on Azeroth. They are going to cross paths with the humans in this, and there's going to be some fighting. There may be some people who are not going to make it out of this, but all that the humans and the orcs know is they somehow need to achieve peace, but that's really tough to do because both sides want to kill each other, essentially. And guys, that is the premise behind Warcraft. Now guys, as I said, Warcraft was based off of this really popular PC game, World of Warcraft, which I myself have never played, so a lot of the universe and the mythology concerning the universe is very unfamiliar with me. I don't know hardly any of it. A lot of it's unfamiliar with me, so like who these orcs are, what certain powers characters in this movie have. Like the Guardian is a character in this movie played by Ben Foster. He has certain powers in this movie. I don't understand what any of that is, and I was really hoping this movie would do a good job of catching me up to speed and making me see this is what this means. This is who these characters are. This is how important they are in this world. And I think for the most part, I got a gist of who everyone was and how important certain characters are over other characters. But then at the same time, I was also wondering, like, wait, what character's name was that again? Like, oh, I forgot their name real quick. You know what I mean? So it's like they did an okay job establishing this world, and then they did an job making me remember it. So that's how I overall feel about Warcraft in general, in terms of me being introduced to something totally unfamiliar that I've never heard of before and don't know anything about. So that's how Warcraft was for me, and I was definitely fearful of that going into the movie. And I'll say this much off the bat, having now seen the movie. It's now been a day since I've seen it, also want to throw that in there. I feel that Warcraft is not a terrible movie, not like everybody's making it out to be. I don't think it's like the worst movie ever, or like one of the worst movies of the summer. I think it's a movie that totally had a lot of potential. I do think it has a fair amount of problems that are keeping it from being one of the best movies of the summer and one of my favorite, like, like fantasy films. Because the fantasy genre is not a genre I'm like a huge diehard fan of. There are still, like, I know everybody loves and raves about the Lord of the Rings series, the original trilogy, Lord of the Rings movies. I still haven't seen all of them. I did watch parts of them when I was a kid on VHS. I remember because I owned the VHSs of Return of the King and Fellowship of the Ring. I think Fellowship or Two Towers. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I remember, but I don't remember them fully. You know what I mean? So Warcraft for me going in, I think there's a lot of good to take out of this movie for sure. I think that from a technical standpoint, this movie is great. I think from a script standpoint, this movie is not that great, to be completely honest with you. I totally did not buy into a lot of things with the script and with the characters, and I think that's really where the movie hurts. It's when you know that this movie is trying to, I think, break out of that formula of all fantasy films where there's a problem and there's two sides to this one problem. And you have all your cliches that emerge in, like there's one side that loses a beloved member midway through the movie, and one side, maybe there's a traitor on one side who is really going to help the other side or something like that. And then you have lots of battle sequences sprinkled throughout the movie, culminating in a final, like 20-minute, 15-minute long battle sequence between both sides. And there's probably a side story going on where, several main characters are trying to fight to, help their side, essentially. That is Warcraft, essentially. It's following that formula to a T. And for this movie for me to have said, yeah, Warcraft is a cool, original, refreshing take on this genre, I would have wanted something different with the formula, but they really just stuck really close to it and gave us pretty stale and not too memorable or exciting characters, and that's ultimately why Warcraft didn't exactly hit the right marks with me, you know what I mean? I wanted like more from it, and I ultimately just didn't get that more, you know what I mean? So before I just slam the movie and before I give my genuine problems with it, I do want to say this much, that this movie does have a lot of good going for it, starting with the CGI. I think the CGI in this movie is really, really good. I think the orcs look amazing. Obviously they did motion capture work. I think they look amazing. I think this is one of the most incredible representations of these like weird giant monster things I've ever seen on the big screen. In all honesty, in terms of their appearance, I loved it. I love the designs. I love their size. I love how they have like tusks coming out of their mouths and everything. They have like weird horns on like their shoulders or whatever. I just really loved seeing these characters on the screen and in this world, and I wanted just more of them, but they looked so amazing. The CGI work is really, really good and really, really standout work here. For sure. Without a doubt, thumbs up for that from a technical standpoint. I also think that shooting locations and everything, and locations in general, and I don't know if there was a lot of green screen. If there was, I certainly couldn't tell. But I'm assuming they shot a lot of it on location, like in the woods, or in like on a mountaintop or something like that. There's one battle sequence on a mountaintop, and I bought it. There's some excellently shot sequences like by this riverbed. I think the cinematography and everything looked really good, and because locations looked so amazing and exotic and fitting of this world and this universe, I was totally into it. The look of this movie is incredible. I also feel that the costumes were really good, and the makeup. Whoever did the makeup for Paula Patton's character in this movie, good job, sir. She looked pretty good. She almost looked like Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought she looked pretty good. Makeup, costumes were great. The costumes that the humans and the knights wore I thought were really, really cool. Even the orcs, like the cloths and everything they wore, like the straps and satchels they had around them. I thought there was a lot of amazing attention to detail that was placed on these characters, and I was really, really impressed with all of that for the majority. I think the score was even really good by Ramin Djawadi. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that dude's name. He scored Iron Man, the first Iron Man. He scored this movie. The battle theme sequences are really, really cool, and I really bought into them as well. all of that, all of those aspects were really, really strong. And I think this movie would have been an A movie, almost an A-minus movie for me, had the script and the characters actually been worthy and memorable and given enough fair, like, solid character traits and characterization. I think this movie would have been near perfect, almost. I think they almost had it, but they really dropped the ball with the script and everything. And that's where my problems and everything come in. Because as I said before, there is nothing about Warcraft, in my opinion, that set its characters apart from other characters of other movies, of other fantasy films. There's nothing about the formula and overall the structure of the script that made me say, yeah, this is different from other fantasy films I've seen before. No, it's almost the same exact thing as other fantasy films I've seen before. It's just, it has the same exact basic premise, essentially, other than the fact that these are orcs and humans, and we've never really seen monsters like orcs like this on screen before. So that was very, very upsetting to me. Character-wise, it's been almost 24 hours since I've seen this movie. I do not remember one worthy character who had a moment or a scene where I was like, that character is awesome, I'm going to remember that action. Out of every other movie for the rest of the summer, that is one of the coolest scenes of the summer. Never did I once have that. And you want to know why? There were some really cool, well-orchestrated action sequences in this movie that I was actually really entertained by. But you want to know why I'm not going to remember any of them? Because I didn't care about hardly any of the characters that were involved in them. That's why I'm not going to remember any of them. Do you guys know why I'm going to remember the Civil War airport scene at the end of the summer? Because I loved almost every one of the characters in that scene, and every one of them had been well established. They had a lot of weight and baggage that made me say, yeah, I care about these characters, I care about their intentions. I didn't care about the intentions of these characters in this movie. I felt a lot of them were just cookie cutter standout characters who were just literally there and had a purpose to be there. And if there were any characters who did anything redeeming or did anything special or out of the ordinary, it happened in the final 10 minutes of the movie. Take, for example, Dominic Cooper's character who plays the king. On a side note, I am not a Dominic Cooper fan. I don't know what it is with the guy. I can't take him seriously. Couldn't take the dude seriously in Need for Speed. Can't take him seriously in this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just him as an actor. I just don't care for the guy. I don't know what it is. I don't like him. That sounds so harsh. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, but I never latched on his character as a king. His character as a king, as the king character for the humans. I don't remember anything memorable or worthy that he did as a character, or I don't remember any scene with him that didn't involve him just standing there listening to plans or giving plans and orders to his subjects. There's like nothing there for him. I wanted to see maybe he has a conflict with his wife or something. I don't know. I just wanted something to make him feel more human, and I didn't get that at all from him. And by the time he makes his final decision in the end of the movie to do what he does, I was like, alright, whatever, cool. I guess I buy it. That's something cool for Paula Patton's character, but not for his. So I didn't buy into that. I think Ben Foster's character as the Guardian was utterly absurd and almost to the point of ridiculous, where almost to the point I almost laughed every time I saw him like controlling that like blue whatever energy. I thought that was absurd. I thought the young kid who was trying to like I don't remember these characters' names, guys. I'm sorry. They did not do a good job of giving these characters good names and making us remember these things because they're not memorable characters or they're not worthy characters. But I don't know. That kid annoyed the hell out of me too. He was like in the library or what. I don't know. You see where I'm going here, guys? All good movies have to trace back to good characters. And if you have poor character writing, and if your characters just come off as cliches, or characters we've seen in 900 other fantasy films, or characters that honestly don't do anything until the last 10 minutes of the movie, or they don't have traits that make them stand out, I'm not going to really care about the movie, and I didn't. That's why the rest of the movie felt cliched ridden and felt like it was nothing special, and that's ultimately why I didn't love Warcraft like I wanted to. I think the sound was even like I couldn't even hear what some of the characters were saying sometimes, maybe because of those stupid tusks they had in their mouth, which I thought looked cool, but I was at the same time I was like, wait, what did you just say? So there you guys have it with Warcraft for me. From a technical standpoint, it's amazing. The CGI, the costumes, the locations they shot at, the score, the performances are okay, except for the ridiculous ones. And all that works very well with the movie and is keeping me from saying this is a shit movie, it's an F movie, don't see it, it's not worth it. But what's keeping me from saying it's a good movie or even a great movie, it's kind of like in the middle for me right now, is the script, the plotting, the structure of the overall story, and the fact that it feels like a fantasy film we've just seen done before with nothing really special to it at all, other than the Orcs, which just looked awesome. But they looked awesome. I can't say they were great characters, because they weren't. Guys, those are my thoughts on Warcraft. In the end, I'm going to give this movie solid grade of a 7 out of 10 or a C minus. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, Mike, that's still like a passing grade. Like 7 out of 10? That's more than half. How? That's my system, guys. Anywhere from a 9 to a 10 is anywhere from an A for me. 8 to a 9 is a B. 7 to an 8 is a C. 6 to a 7 is a D. And anything lower than that, could be from 5 to 1, I don't care where it is an F or worse than F. That's how my system is. So for me, even though I'm saying I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10 or a C minus, that's still me saying I really wouldn't recommend you see it. Maybe rent it. There's some cool looking things with it, but other than that, I don't think it's really worth the price of a $13 admission ticket or even Bargain Tuesday price. I don't know, that's just me. Guys, if you saw Warcraft, what did you think of it down below? If any of you who played the game, do you think it did justice to the source material? I don't know, I haven't played it. Guys, thank you so much for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.